People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not in putting it in a fruit salad. People don't get what they deserve. You are not always responsible for the first thought you have, but you are responsible for the second. Never be so nice, you forgot to be smart, and never be so smart, you forgot to be kind. Your mind gives up much faster than your body. A calm sea will not make you an expert sailor. Just because a thought diverts your attention doesn't mean it's worth your attention. Waiting for change without doing anything is like waiting for the train at a bus stop. If you repeatedly ask yourself whether something is right for you or not, the answer is usually no. At some point you will realize that no one else has a say in your life unless you let them. A blind man is a bad guide until it gets dark. When you work for someone else, you only have the right to work, not to the fruits of your labor. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize that we only have one. The kids make so much noise you can't imagine, but when they leave the house for good, the silence is maddening. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. If you look for the light, you will often find it, but if you look for the darkness, that is all you will see. You may be the sweetest peach on the tree, but some people just don't like peaches. If all our problems were cards and we could put them on the table, I bet you would choose your own backup. The cave you fear to enter contains the treasure you seek. When a woman decides to actively participate in the act of oral sex with her partner, she is creating a deep and intimate bond. Beyond simply exploring sexuality within the relationship, this act can strengthen the emotional and physical bonds between both of you. It is a manifestation of trust in the partner and a genuine desire to provide pleasure and satisfaction. Oral sex, when performed with mutual consent, safety, and respect, can promote an environment of open communication and trust in the relationship. It is essential that both parties feel comfortable and respected during this intimate experience, and that they are in full agreement with sexual activities. In addition to physical pleasure, oral sex can empower women by allowing them to take control of their partner's pleasure. Reciprocity is also important in healthy relationships, where many women find gratification in providing pleasure to their partners. It's important to recognize that oral sex may not be the preference of all couples, which is completely valid. Each relationship is unique and individual preferences may vary. The essential thing is that there is open and respectful communication about the sexual needs and desires of both. Oral sex is an expression of intimacy, trust, and mutual love. When practiced in a consensual and respectful manner, it can strengthen the emotional connection between couples and contribute to a satisfying relationship. Additionally, oral sex may have benefits for couples' sexual and emotional health, such as improving mood and promoting an overall sense of well-being. It is important to note that oral sex can be an opportunity to explore new dimensions of sexuality and discover new forms of pleasure. By experimenting with different techniques and approaches, couples can strengthen their connection and increase shared pleasure. However, it is crucial to respect each couple's individual preferences and boundaries. Open and honest communication about sexual desires and concerns is essential to maintaining a healthy and satisfying relationship. In short, oral sex can be an intimate and rewarding experience for many couples, as long as it is done in a consensual, safe, and respectful manner. It is a way to strengthen the emotional connection between the couple and explore new forms of pleasure together. If you express gratitude every day, that's enough. Bees don't waste their time trying to convince flies that honey is better than garbage. Nothing worthwhile in life comes easy. They can strip you of everything, except one thing, the freedom to choose your attitude in any circumstance, your own path. Even without making mistakes, it is possible to lose. That is not weakness, it is living fully. Making right decisions for yourself will often upset others. You can't explore new horizons if you don't move away from the familiar. Deceiving someone is easy, convincing him that he has been deceived, not so much. Any vision of the future is a game of deception. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting another to perish. Your attitude defines whether you will be a negative bystander or a positive protagonist in your life. Before you speak, put your words to 3 tests. Is it true? He is friendly. It is necessary. Worrying doubles the suffering. Face the fear, but don't stop because of it. It takes time to recognize your misery and even more to free yourself from it. The days and nights you spend idle will never be remembered. Anger is not always loud. Sometimes, it's the quiet voice that tells you at the end of the day, "I'll try again tomorrow." Get rid of the unnecessary burdens you carry, those that you should only climb. Stress and responsibility are 2 different things that are often confused. Don't hold on to a mistake just because it took you a while to make it. They once taught me the meaning of hell. On your last day in this world, the reflection of the being you have become will meet the shadow of the being you could have been. Work calmly and let your achievements speak for you. It is not a question of lack of time, but of lack of priorities. What would you do if you didn't know fear? Although there are 2 paths you can take, there is always time to change course. Effort always surpasses talent if the latter does not work hard. The days may be long, but the years fly by. I discovered this after welcoming my first child, and I couldn't agree more. Wanting to get over someone reveals more about you than it does about them. Stress and indifference are 2 sides of the same coin. Life moves quickly. If you don't stop and contemplate, you could miss out on the most valuable moments. Everything that exists at this moment. Everything else is just a game of the mind. True peace is found in seeing the world without labels or judgments. Treat people not as they are, but as they could be. That's what can change them. Everyone wants to reach the top, but few are willing to face the challenges that come with it. Great minds discuss ideas, ordinary people discuss events, and small minds discuss others. The danger is real, but fear is optional. We are all the antagonist in someone else's story. The only person who will truly appreciate your hard work is yourself. The company and bosses can easily forget it. It's not worth sacrificing your life for a company that would replace you without a second thought. The people who really matter are the ones who care about you, and vice versa. Keep working on yourself until your heart is filled with love and understanding. Remember the time when you longed for what you now have. Gratitude is the key to happiness. Good work often goes unnoticed, but that shouldn't discourage you. We are here to enjoy the journey, not to worry about the destination. Feelings can deceive us. The reality is more complex. If I had to sum up life in 3 words, they would be these: keep going, always. If you are not happy, it is time to change your situation. Remember, this too shall pass. The real fear is not moving forward slowly, but staying stuck. Sometimes the hypocrite is just someone in the process of transformation. Don't look at others to compare yourself, but to make sure everyone has what they need. Always choose kindness over being right. Others' opinions of you do not define who you really are. True ownership lies in your actions, not in your material belongings. Don't be afraid to express your thoughts, even if you feel your voice shake. Every setback is an opportunity to get up with more strength and wisdom. The next step you take is always the most important. Live in experiences, not in flexible expectations. Your salary should not be compensation for forgetting your dreams. Decide if today is the day to start, or if it will be the first of many. Remember, you can't score goals if you never shoot. Youth has the ability to find beauty in what others overlook. He who maintains that perspective never ages. The past is just a story we tell ourselves. Each individual finds new paths as they leave the past behind and venture into the unknown. Holding on to the past once it's over would be a waste of energy. Luck is created when preparation meets opportunity. Honesty without empathy is cold, and empathy without honesty is manipulative. Dreams can come true, but sometimes they can turn into nightmares. Every journey begins with a simple step. To understand another's experience, you must accept their perspective, not your own. Avoid arguing with people who only seek conflict. You will get dirty and they will enjoy the chaos. It is better to be considered a fool than to open your mouth and confirm it. It's better to have something now than nothing forever. The magic doesn't disappear just because you know the trick. No one can diminish you without your consent. If you don't have what you want, it's time to go out and look for it. Success is not measured by titles or wealth, but by healthy, loving relationships. There are two ways of seeing life, as if nothing were a miracle, or as if everything were. We all have an inner genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb trees, it will live believing it is a failure. Modifying your perspective can completely change your reality. It is more valuable to have $500 in a wallet that costs $50 than it is to have $50 in a wallet that costs $500. Don't waste your time worrying about what others think of you. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to care about others. The way others treat you often reflects how you teach them to treat you, whether consciously or not. No drop of rain is considered responsible for the flood. Most of the worries we have never come to fruition. Spiritual awakening occurs when you realize that you are not your thoughts. The world can be a tragedy for those who feel too much and a comedy for those who think too much. Are you contributing to the problem or are you part of the solution? Don't always attribute malice to the actions of others. Ignorance often explains much more. Never give up before you have given your best. Fairy tales are not just stories, they teach us that even the biggest problems can be solved. Being a little childish from time to time is part of being an adult. Socializing is a skill that requires practice to fully master. Don't cling to the past for happiness, justification, or excuses. The cemetery is full of people who thought the world couldn't go on without them. People do not forget, and nothing is lost forever. Things are only impossible until you stop believing in them. Making a bad decision and getting away with it does not make it a good decision. It is not the critic who matters, but rather the one who is willing to take risks and give everything. It's not your fault, things just are the way they are. If you apologize, do it sincerely. Don't let the pursuit of perfection stop you from achieving the good. Often, what we fear terrifies us more than what really harms us. Anger can hurt you more than others. It is never easy, but over time it becomes more bearable. In a world where true love is rare, sometimes false love can be convincing. If you need music on the beach, you may miss the beauty of natural sounds. We are defined by our choices. He who does not fight has already lost. We live more fully when we are busy living. Sometimes the choice you make is not as important as the commitment you make to it. A denied expectation hurts more than a denied hope, but a fulfilled hope makes us happier than a fulfilled expectation. The goal of debate is not to defeat the other, but to understand them. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. In the end, it all comes down to a simple choice: get busy living or get busy dying. Loneliness is not felt because no one needs you, but because you care about who is by your side. He who knows when to fight and when to give up is the one who really wins. Happiness is nothing more than good health and bad memories, except for the thoughts we generate ourselves. Stay away from those who try to undermine your ambitions. The small-minded always do, but the truly great inspire you to greatness. Worrying about the opinions of others is an invisible prison that sooner or later traps us. Betrayal reveals stupidity. We put more effort into pretending happiness than actually experiencing it. In retrospect, the years of struggle will seem the most valuable. Whoever has a purpose in life can overcome any adversity. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Never reveal to a friend what your enemy should not know a day later. The only person you are meant to be is the one you decide to be. We love others more than we love ourselves, but we often care more about their opinion than our own. The obsession with avoiding mistakes is as harmful as wanting to avoid them. Conquer yourself instead of conquering the world. Problems are not solved by adding more information, but by organizing what we have already known for a long time. As we put off adventures, we put off truly living. There is no point in getting angry at the world. We should try to be the architects of our own destiny rather than the victims of our past. Time is the only remedy for what reason cannot reveal. Smile in the face of problems, find strength in anguish and grow brave through reflection. He who aspires to great achievements will also face great suffering. Kind words can have a big impact without costing much. They always resonate beyond your reach because that is where we find truth with ease and the willingness to experiment. Everything falls into place at the time. Even confusion becomes laughable when we embrace each moment and trust in the purpose behind each experience. Letting go of the fear of making mistakes is liberating, while keeping the words unspoken chains you into silence. You are the architect of your destiny. Once you pronounce your choice, you become its prisoner, acting as if every movement has insurmountable weight. The more we obsess over our misfortunes, the more power we give them to torment us. There will only be two regrets on our deathbed: not having loved enough and not having explored enough. Life is a series of decisions with the future. It is not the sum of what we have been, but what we long to be. People who know little tend to be great at conversations, while men who know a lot say little. Money is a great servant but a bad teacher. Depression is like a woman in black. If she shows up, don't chase her away. Invite her, offer her a seat, treat her like a guest and listen to what she wants to say. Just get better. That's the only thing you can do to improve the situation. Anger, if left unchecked, is often more harmful to us than the harm it causes. People always do what they are afraid to do. There is never a need to work to get up or disturb your soul over things you cannot control. These things do not ask to be judged by you. Leave them alone. The best revenge is to be different from the one who caused the injury. Stop allowing your mind to be a slave to be shaken by selfish impulses. The help of our friends does not help us as much as trust in their help. Be silent or let your words be worth more than silence. Respond to criticism with achievements. From the point of view of youth life, the future is an endless future. From the point of view of old age, it is a very short past. An intelligent person always hides three things about himself: his weaknesses, his sources of wisdom and his true aspirations. When we lose one blessing, we are often given another more unexpectedly in its place. Who fights against destiny in the present and distrusts the future? The only thing you can do to improve the situation is to simply improve. Depression is like a woman in black. If she shows up, don't chase her away. Invite her to offer her a seat, treat her like a guest and listen to what she wants to say. Get better. That's the only thing you can do to improve the situation. Everywhere in the world, man blames nature for destiny, but his destiny is nothing more than the echo of his character and passion, his mistakes and his weaknesses. If you change the way you see things, the things you look at change. It is better to have $480 in a wallet that costs $20 than to have $20 in a wallet that costs $480. There's no point in wasting time worrying about what other people think of you. Honesty without kindness is brutality. Kindness without honesty is manipulation. They promise that dreams can come true, but they forgot to mention that nightmares are dreams too. Every journey begins with the first step. To empathize with someone's experience, you must be willing to believe them as they see it and not as you imagine their experience will be. Never fight a pig. You'll both get dirty, but the pig likes it. It is better to be considered a fool than to open your mouth and dispel all doubt. Better 50% now than 100% ever. Just because you know how to do it doesn't mean it's not magical. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. What God doesn't give you, you have to go find yourself. Success is not the degree you have or how much money you make. If your relationships with friends and family are healthy and thriving, that's a success. There are two ways to live your life. One is as if nothing were a miracle. The other is as if everything were a miracle. Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its entire life believing it is stupid. Dear, I invite you to share in the comments the phrase that you liked the most or that inspired you. If you want more inspiring content full of wisdom like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any videos. See you in the next video. May wisdom and love guide every step of your path.